Oh, hell yeah, the Dark Lord has seen it in his unholy grace to have yet another edition of Reapers Underground. Here we are on a Wednesday fucking night. This is what we do. And I am so glad for everybody that's tuning in right now. We fucking love y'all. So I got a little homework for you. You better share it out. Share it out right now. Share it into every horror group. I know you guys are all on different Facebook groups and stuff like that. All the YouTubers out there as well. Share this shit out because I have an award-winning, I am so excited, award-winning actor and model, Joe Rosing, with us tonight. And he's just fucking phenomenal. So get those questions ready. And we're going to give you all kinds of awesome look into his career in both fields. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick commercial break to our brothers at the Villain Arts Tattoo Conventions. Check that shit out right now. That's right. You get both horns. Absolutely an amazing tattoo festival. It's the largest in the country, in the world. And they literally come to just about every state in the union. So if they come your way, you better make sure you get your ass there, especially if you love ink as much as I do. You can get some world-class art by world-class artists. There's a lot of people there from the big, tattoo competition on television. I think it's still going on. Ink Master. There's always somebody from Ink Master there. But not only that, there are a lot of performers, all kinds of different vendors, and of course, myself and my Dark Queen Mischief. So as soon as we get our new list of dates that we're going to be there, make sure you come hang out with us. All right, let's fucking jump right into it. So, it was so interesting when I asked you to come on the show. I didn't realize that it was right before the Indie Awards, and you were up for, I think it was Best Actor. Is that correct? I want to make sure I got that right. Or Scene Stealing, something like that.
That's correct. It was for Best Actor.
Exactly. Okay, I thought I was right. I just wanted to double check myself before I got fucked up. All right. So for the film Desperate Souls, which you are the lead actor for, and what a fucking film. And here we go. 2 days ago, you won.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that? Let's tell everybody out there in Black Flame Land how it feels. Is this your first award?
Yes, it is my very first award, and also was very much my first nomination too.
Holy fuck. That was your first film.
Well, it's my first award.
Or your first feature, right?
The first
as far as lead actor.
My first lead in a feature film.
Yeah.
I thought.
Tell us a little bit about your moment, man. We got to celebrate you.
I felt very, very overwhelmed. I remember when he read the announcement for Best Actor for a Feature Film Lead, and I was kind of like, oh God, what's it going to be? I'm thinking, and they said my name, and I almost fell over my chair, and I was
You're like, I need a cigarette right now.
Yeah, my hands were shaking, and I really didn't know what to do. And Anne came with me up there, and I was standing there. I really was quite shaking a bit, and they had the microphone here. Can you say something or if anything at all? And I knew what I wanted to say, but I just really couldn't say anything. But I kept it short and sweet, so I made the list of people I personally think on a Facebook post and Instagram post. So
right, which is kind of a good thing about, social media. That way, if you leave someone out, it's like, boom, you can tag them. They're there. Yeah. Because, I can remember winning awards in high school, and it's like, what do I do? What do I say? I don't understand, so I can only imagine how you felt going up there. And my wife and I were actually watching on Instagram, because that was awesome. They actually did a live, showing of these awards for the Indie Awards, on Instagram. I thought that was really cool. So we were able to actually share that moment with you. I thought you were calm, cool, and collective, man. You did pretty good.
Oh, thanks. It must be just the anthem. I really was nervous.
I mean, totally. I can understand that. If it's like, I keep thinking to myself, if anybody says, oh, you were in Corn Zombies, I would probably just be dumbfounded. Like, really? You enjoyed it? That kind of thing. So, I mean, I can only imagine as a main actor of the film, how that must've felt, man. Much congratulations. And let me say, holy shit, what a fuck ton of dialogue that you had to do. Was it just purely memorization for you?
Memorizing lines is not a problem for me, actually. It never really was. As a kid, I had a very good memory for a lot of stuff. I mean, everybody's had, no matter how good you are, you might have that one, flub, but you just keep going, and sometimes little mistakes can make it even better. Or you might improv.
This is so true.
Yeah. I asked Steve, there was a couple lines I asked if I can put in there, and he said yes. I mean, as an actor, I can do it how I want, but the director gets the last word. They're my boss. Same goes for the producer.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. I mean, never just go into it and go, oh, I'm just going to say this anyway, and then get their reaction. It's kind of nice that you were like, hey, can I say this here?
Yeah. Or I check with one of my co-stars or scene partners, see if I'm going to do something. And say, is it okay with you if I smack you? Because I had a guy. He said, "I want you to smack me." And going, "You really smack you?" Not in that movie, but something else. And I smacked them, and then I felt really, really bad afterwards. Are you okay? I said.
I mean, did you just haul off and go, what?
No, I did it lightly, but the way he reacted, I thought I really did something. And it was like, oh my God, this is not what I wanted to do.
It was like, you bitch.
It was a guy. So.
No, that's awesome. And SJ is just a fantastic director. Anyhow, him and Ann Myrna, I mean, they're just amazing.
They're very, very nice people.
Absolutely. And we actually got to work on Attack of the Corn Zombies together, which we'll talk about that later. But for now, since we're talking about it, and let me quickly. Oh, what's up, Kyler? What's up, Carter? Glad you guys could be a part and watching. As always, share that shit out and bring your questions. Joe is here to interact with you just as well, so don't be shy. So before we get to the kind of like your beginnings and how you got into all this, but since we're already on the topic, set it up for us. Tell us the premise of this, quite frankly, awesome, dark, dramatic kind of love story. Kind of give us a peek into what Desperate Souls is all about.
It's about
hi, Anna.
Hey, Ann, how
Absolutely.
you doing?
We love you. Thank you for joining. All righty. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the film is about a young man named Devin who's got issues with depression and suicide, and he's always trying to hide that from his friends, and he comes across a woman named Moira who's a succubus, and obviously we all know what they do. And but apparently
Just so
she's drawn.
happened to be.
Yeah, so she's drawn to Devin in a very unusual way. So she kind of starts falling in love with him and doesn't want to kill him eventually. And
Hmm.
eventually things go on. If just in case nobody's seen the movie, I don't want to give too much away. But
Well, of course, just
yeah, I
just
mean, but
a little
the
look
movie,
into your character.
but the movie is it has a lot of romance in it. It does have it is a drama and as a horror too, at the same time. I know because on I think it was on Amazon Prime or like Netflix. It this categorized as a drama horror, even though we categorized it as romance and a horror film, and I guess it could be all three. And it does get
I
kind of dark.
really do. I think it has all those elements. And a lot of us, some guys don't want to admit it, but they do love these things. When
Yeah,
you have like a dark romance kind of story, especially, I mean, throwing in the succubus elements, it really kind of turns it on its tide. One of my favorite lines that Angel says in that film is, you know, I I've known so many, but none quite like you. You're different. And I could just kind of think right from there. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be interesting.
oh
Because probably from the jump, she actually wanted to kill you, eat you, whatever. But it turns into something more. It's
yeah.
definitely not your normal, succubus story. So.
No, as a matter of fact, I think it's like the only one I know of other than that one South Park episode that's called Succubus, which I actually really enjoyed that one. You know?
Oh man. And she's always singing that damn song, and the only way to get rid of her was for Stan
Sing it
and
backwards. Yeah,
sing the song
yeah.
backwards.
I mean, I think it would have been okay if she did kill Devin because that way he gets out of making the next Macy's payment because he's in debt with Macy's like me.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to keep succubus, succubi, if you will, happy at all times. Otherwise, they're going to fucking kill you. That's the way it is. Kyler says it needs everything: horror, drama, romance, comedy, action. I agree with that. Having a combination film where you're not just getting the run of the mill slasher, the run of the mill this or that. It was a different formula, and like I said, it was a
Yeah,
different take because I've seen other movies based on succubi. This is completely different. It's more real feeling.
oh
There were definitely we talked a little bit about this before broadcast, moments that felt so legit, and it's so hard to get that in some of these films. There was a moment where you became very emotional. How did you dig deep into that?
yeah. Well, which scenes in particular, or do you have one particular one you want to talk about? Because we're kind of few that I
Any of
kind of
them?
really. All right. Well, I know the last scene, and I won't go too much into detail just in case we didn't watch it. But we all
Mm-hmm.
know what scene we're talking about. That was the second callback I got from Amnesty to do, and I did it with Angel. I had to do it live, and I never done a live audition callback before, so I was incredibly nervous. So I've been holding my breath the entire time since the first audition,
Oh man.
and yeah. And when I got the second callback and I read it, and I went, Jesus, this is really sad. And it had a lot of deja vu moments in that because I had the same experience with somebody a long time ago in the past that I actually wanted
Mm.
to, walk to the altar with and everything like that. And it didn't happen, obviously. And I know a lot of actors do think of some things to help certain emotions go on, but I think about that quite a lot, almost on a daily basis. So it's not really something that I have to try and think of. It does, and that kind of really pulled more into it than I really expected. So when I got that second callback, I really, really knew I had to, I don't care what anybody says, I got to do this role.
It was almost kind of therapeutic for you.
Kind of, but I really sometimes don't. Sometimes things just come back and remind you of whether you want them to or not. And since
This is true.
I do think about it on quite a daily basis for so many years, it's kind of difficult to not to think about it.
Sure. And honestly, in a way, I know it sounds bad. Like, think of your worst pain in order to pull off a scene or something like that, or a time that you were just so mad that you saw red, you wanted to kill, whatever. And the fact that you were able to, even though that did kind of come to the surface, but you did it, those feelings were in more of a, I guess, more of like a better productive way, focused way.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, nobody wants to really remember those things, but man, I read so many interviews with so many different actors over the, my entire life, that it's like, that most people do. They remember something from their past. And the fact that, it came to the surface, it came out on film, shit, it got you the win, man.
Yeah, well, there really wasn't any acting involved in that scene. I will admit, I wasn't gonna say that, but it's true. There really was no acting involved in that one, because of it was such a very similar thing that happened a long time ago. Like, Jesus, does he have like a script to my life? It's like, oh my goodness. There was one line that was in there, and I asked Steve, because he rewrote it, and I asked him, "Can I please give this one line?" Because it was my favorite one. He didn't make it in the film, but he still let me say it. It was a part right before I told her to please don't leave,
Mm-hmm.
and the line was, "If you are what you say you are, then what do you really look like?" Because I just thought that was very genuine and very true and beautiful. Because he doesn't care who she is. What's that? He doesn't care who she is or what she's done or what she truly looks like. He just loves her for who she is. He doesn't. He can look past all that stuff and just see who really truly is.
And I mean, even me, I can remember, past love affairs that I could really connect with that because some of us, the good guy always looks past all the bad. It's like, okay, that was you before, but who you are now is who we care about. And it's like, that had to be,
right. Because
could remember, a situation like that with a romantic involvement.
Right. Because what matters is now. That's what matters is like right now. And I'll tell you, when you really do love somebody, you find a strength within inside yourself you never knew existed.
That's so true. On many levels. I even with my wife, I feel the same way. It's like I never thought that I would ever leave Dead End, Ohio, and here I am. So it's just like, you just know when love is that strong, people, no matter how dark it is, you find that will to succeed, and the world cannot stop you. So, as a matter of fact. Let's see here. Oh my goodness. Okay. Here we go. Kyler says that line that has weight to it. So he hasn't even seen the film yet, and he already knows the power. My wife Mischief says, "Thank you for the chest hair featured tonight, Mr. Joe."
Okay, you're welcome. I
told you would get admiration for this.
Well, I actually always wear this jacket with like how it is, like now, even when I go to a concert too, because I can also put stuff in my pockets, and it's more retro looking anyway.
And it looks warm. Who knows how many fucking caribou or whatever it took to make that coat. I'm sure it's warm as shit. And as Mischief has pointed out, it is on realv.net right now. You can catch this film there. It is for rent also on Amazon Prime. And I do believe, after looking on Facebook, that it is also coming to Tubi.
So, I believe so, yes. Yeah. Yes. And you can also buy the Blu-ray and a DVD copy on acrostarfilms.com if you want a hard copy stuff like how I do.
I always think that the hard copy means more than any VOD. The only reason I think a lot of us do tend to stick to VOD is because that's the only way we can get shit. But Acrostar Films is different.
I got the VHS player still because some stuff has never been put on DVD. It's kind of like, what the hell?
That
I
is
want to
so
watch.
fucking true.
I want to watch this movie that's got. I don't remember the name of the actors that are in it, though. It's one of those movies. It's called Digital Man.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if
Okay.
you ever heard of that, but it's kind of like, I like to watch it on DVD. And it's got Adam Baldwin in there and Patrick Swayze's other brother. What's his name?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't ask me.
A lot of that obscure stuff from, late 80s and shit like that never made it from VHS to DVD. So it's like, how are you going to find it?
You're like, come on, Republican Pictures, come on, get off your asses and do this stuff, would you? What's wrong with you?
Fuck yeah.
I know, they ain't still in business.
Mention, it's like, if you love these films.
I can't hear you, man. You're gone.
What's that?
I can't hear you. You're muted. Are you muted? I can't hear you.
Nothing's wrong with my mic, so not sure what's going on there.
No, I still can't hear you.
Can everybody hear me out there in Black
try
Flame?
mine. No, I can't hear a word you're saying.
Can you hear me? I'll do a quick test. Hold on. Kyler says he can hear me. So
Can't hear you. I really can't hear you.
Not sure.
I don't. If you do sign language, I could probably know what you're saying, but I don't know how to do sign language. I know the one where you give the finger to the guy who just cut you off. I know that one.
So what I'm gonna do is cut you out, come back in. And Paul said he hears us both. Yeah. So how about now? Any better?
You want to take a commercial break and we'll fix this? I guess. I don't know.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we'll get back to it.
Everybody out there in Black Flame Land hears us both, but he can't hear me. So we're going to figure this out. So I'm going to cut to our brothers over at... Actually, no. We're going to go ahead and run the awesome bands of Reaper's Underground Productions. Check it out. Hey, can you hear me now? All right, let's get your mic on here real quick. All right.
Okay, good. So we got.
All right, cool. All right. So we didn't actually go all the way through. StreamYard sometimes can be a bitch of the night, as it were, a street worker, a whore. Sometimes it fucks with what we're doing.
That's
so I do apologize out there.
That's an insult to the street. I said that's an insult to the street workers.
Absolutely, it is. So that was just some of the bands that I represent in Reaper's Underground Productions. Please check them out anywhere on Facebook or Instagram. So we are back with Joe. And where the fuck were we?
God, I don't remember anymore now. We were talking about... Oh,
actually, Kyler can help us right here. He says, hard copy says I own it. You have to take it from my dead cold hands.
Oh yeah.
So go to acrostarsfilms.com in order to purchase a physical copy, people.
And there's many other Acrostar films there as well.
Absolutely. And it also shows you really do enjoy these films, and they do make a lot of fantastic films. So if it shows your support, you love it, and it only makes it possible for Acrostars to continue to bring you some of the best independent horror films there are, period. End of fucking story. So let's move on from this. So I have to ask, and I think we may have talked about this before in another time, medium, whatever. What came first, the modeling or acting?
I did the same thing simultaneously, but the first gig I ever got was a modeling gig.
No shit. All right. It's kind of the way I cut my teeth as well. Just in a different way. I mean, obviously you're like more buff, hunk the stuff. I'm more horror, painted up dead horror kind of thing.
You're just being nice now.
So how did that come about for you?
I used to be a manager at a gym in my hometown, and a member of mine used to be she was from Poland, and she used to be a model herself, and she took me over to the Giant Casablancas there. I had another friend too that told me to do the same thing. I'm like, I don't know. I was still trying to think about trying to be a cop at the time, still believe it or not. So I went there, I did their schooling thing, and yeah, you heard right, cop. And I did the schooling
in
and
Chicago. Holy fuck.
Yeah. And it was just over in Elmhurst, this place was, thankful, it's not in a big city.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so they teach you, I didn't know anything. I didn't know what a monologue was and how to put on makeup. I didn't realize I had a speech problem. Like I needed to, more on diction. There's a lot of people because a lot of people think I'm from Boston, but I'm just trying to speak more clear. That's all it is. And I'm from here, Chicago.
You're from Chicago, and everybody thought you were from Boston.
Or New York. I was in Green Bay, and the lady was talking like, "Oh, when you get back to New York?" Like, "No, I'm not from New York. I'm from here, Chicago. What are you talking about?"
I can actually, I can hear the Chicago accent. It's just not as thick as some people.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? But I can still tell it's there. So, damn. Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I didn't know. People are like, "Hey, you got an accent." I'm going, "What are you talking about? I'm here from Chicago. What accent? I don't hear anything." Steve, that's another guy right there. Steve Herman. All week long, I had to hear him talk about how I say the word coffee. And it's like, well, what are you talking about? That's how you say it. And I'm sure he's sitting there giggling right now watching this as I'm talking about this.
Oh, shit. That's hilarious. Okay.
So yeah, I was, after being there for about maybe not even a month doing our schooling, I got booked for Sexy Hair at the American Beauty Show in Chicago at the McCormick Place.
Oh,
and
okay.
They gave me a haircut. It was pretty nice. And it's nice. It really was nice. And it was like, okay, so no longer with my normal hair style I always had. And it was always much shorter than this, just because of COVID. And everybody seemed to likes it. So I'm like, all right, I'll just leave it.
I haven't had a haircut in 23 years. So
I'll tell you what, I did the.
I envy the fact.
I did have my head shaved one time about 10 years ago, almost over 10 years ago, and I'm not one of those lucky people who can pull that look off. I had people thinking I was a skinhead. I'm like, "Kids, get away from him." I'm like, no.
Shit.
I went and I donated my hair, and I had like almost nothing left. After Mother's Day, I figured, hell, let's just hack the whole goddamn thing off. I said, and see what happens. And biggest mistake of my whole life, dumbest thing ever.
That's so weird though. It's like, they automatically thought just because your head was shaved that you must be a skinhead.
Yeah, or I was in the service, which I never got to be in the service. I was going to go in the Marines, but that didn't happen because I got these crappy knees, so that didn't happen so well. Yeah.
Well, I mean, at least you gave it a shot, right?
Well, I would have done it for all the wrong reasons. We'll just leave it at that for now.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Absolutely. I mean, sometimes we find ourselves moving from high school to college, or even if you don't go to college, you're just kind of out there in the ether, just trying to find yourself, and you just never know which direction to go. But modeling found you, so
yeah.
What was how was your first shoot?
Like a photo shoot, you mean? Just like a regular shoot? Oh, usually your
or
very
was it
first
more
shoot,
for like an advertisement or something
no,
that?
the shoot, my first shoot was just for like they have some pictures to help market yourself for, and usually your first shoot isn't always the best. Usually when you get to like 3 or 4, then you kind of learn about what your good sides are and how to move. I had some nice shots, but it was kind of like I didn't know that about myself. How I looked at this angle, you don't know. And they say practice in front of the mirror, like certain facial expressions and poses. You might think it looks good, but the camera sees something completely different.
It so does.
Yeah,
I agree with that 1,000%.
And the camera does add down 10 pounds. And it was
in that case, I look like a fucking whale.
I used to be 220 years ago. Yeah, a long time. It used to be like size 40 pants. Oh God, yeah.
220.
Yeah, 220.
I mean, I'm down to 260. So
yeah, but you're taller than me though.
That's true. Everybody always says that. It depends on your height, how you carry it, all that good stuff. But
plus sometimes people sometimes do look better with the extra weight, and they can pull it off. You pull it off. I can't pull it off.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of lucky in that respect.
I mean, it's a compliment, really. But like John Goodman. I mean, you look better before he got the sucking out. Now he's got like the chicken vagina neck looking thing going on here with the little ripples.
I like to call it turkey neck.
that's kind of
gobble gobble, motherfucker.
Oh yeah. I hope the guy John Goodman's not watching this.
I'm sure he's not.
I really,
who the fuck is this guy? He's a fucking joke.
John Goodman is a really good actor.
He is.
Now I got to cover my tracks very well.
The different fucking roles that man can do. He's done everything from comedy.
Oh yeah.
Psycho killer. Bad guy cop.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's played it all. It's so weird.
Roseanne.
For sure.
Yeah.
Paul says, I hate seeing and hearing myself. I think that's because we are our own worst critics.
Yeah. I actually, yesterday, as a matter of fact, I actually sat down on my own volition and I did watch Desperate Souls because I don't watch my own work. It's just, I mean,
no way.
It's just so weird. I love working on everything I've worked on. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world, but it's just so weird to see yourself. It's so odd. And I sat down. I still covered my eyes at a couple parts. I'm going, I'm not watching myself do that. No.
No, I do understand that. There was a couple of videos taken of when all of our zombie characters were like coming out in a horde, and I'm sitting there going, what are you doing, you dumbass? I'm just like picking myself apart. And the fact that, the feedback was good, I was like, okay, well, maybe I feel a little bit better about this.
Oh, you're fine, man. You're just fine. And Paul, I was talking to Paul quite a lot that day too. I told him I told him a little bit. He looks a little bit like Kevin Bacon. Maybe he could probably pull off those lookalike things. I was telling him about that, and I'm sure he's listening now. Like, yeah, we talked pretty good about that. I said, Paul, run with that. I said, who doesn't like Kevin Bacon?
I mean, who doesn't? I mean, the
Yeah,
guy's been in everything. He's another one of those like dynamic actors. I mean, he went from Footloose
I was always a fan of
to
Tremors. I don't care what anybody
so
says. I
much
love Tremors.
more.
I don't care what anybody
But
says. I
I
love
ain't gonna
Tremors.
lie. I'm a child of the 80s. So when that film came out, I mean, everybody loved it.
Yeah.
Every kid was like, oh, shit. Even the most dumbass looking guy can fucking dance, and it'll be okay. He gave
No.
us hope.
Well, I never been that angry to where I felt like, I just gotta dance my little heart out. Like not punch a wall, go throw some darts, bowling, give the finger to some poor old lady for no reason. No. No, I'm just so angry I gotta dance. I'm more of a
That's
Tremors
right.
guy. That was my Kevin Bacon movie growing up. I love that movie. I don't care what anybody says. I love that one.
Oh, dude, that was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I
I loved
watched it constantly as a kid. I loved it.
Everybody did. And I mean, it got stale after they would no longer like be in the cast, for all the sequels after that. But man, that first flick was fantastic. I loved him in that role.
Yeah, I
And
also
he's
loved it.
done
I
so
love.
many other great spooky horror type films too.
Yeah, yeah, but I love the second one. The sequel I thought had a more of a spookier
Oh,
edge
sequel
to
was
it.
perfect.
Yeah, it was very spooky. I love that one a whole lot.
Absolutely. And just to kind of show a little bit to everybody here, some of your modeling stuff, probably more recent, I'm thinking.
Yeah, more recent. I always keep the cigarettes as a prop because that's sometimes what people want, but I don't bring them out a whole lot because people seem to go too far into the smoking. And it's like, I don't want all my photos to have all the smoking, but I brought them on for that thing. And somebody said, yeah, get the cigarettes. I'm going, okay, and it worked out pretty well, I guess. I'm dying for a cigarette. Jesus.
Right now?
Well, I'm not smoking at all, but the thing
Oh,
is just like, when I see the picture, I'm going, oh, Jesus. Because I picked up smoking to stay in character for Devin, and I quit smoking, and now the addiction thing came back with a vengeance.
oh,
Like,
I see
get
what
on my
you're
way,
saying.
everybody. Don't talk to me unless it's about gun smoke or something that involves smoking. I'm more of a bonanza guy, though.
You know what, though? It does give you a little bit of that James Dean flavor.
Yeah, thanks. He said Steve McQueen. The photographer said Steve McQueen. I'm like, oh, that's a new one.
For sure. Why the hell not?
Yeah, that's like Jimmy Dean. Do you think he went by Jimmy Dean before, but then he got told, no, wait, that's the same name of a sausage. You can't have that one.
I guess it depends on what the fuck came first. Him as a
Obviously,
star or the sausage? How far does the sausage go back? Let's go into sausage history.
I'm getting kind of tired because I'm getting quite obnoxious. So excuse me. I just got to plug in
What
here.
the hell's wrong with that? This is the underground. Anything goes. Who gives a fuck?
Well, just in case they got somebody out there like, oh, he's so polite. Like, no, he said this. Really, you badmouth sausage.
I mean, there's nobody out there bad mouthing you at all.
No, I'm just being silly.
Matter of fact, Tyler just said, just imagine smoking is like inhaling farts.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, it is. I've been using suckers. I've been buying suckers to suck on instead of smoking. But it gives me cavities, so it's kind of like, well, do I want cavities or do I want cancer?
It's really a double-edged sword. Smoking, cigars, cigarettes, whatever. I mean, I'm a serial dipper, so it's all about oral fixation.
Yeah,
I don't think we give two shits about the nicotine or whatever. Lorcan Black, hello, welcome to the show, my brother. But we do what we do. At the end of the day, we get one life.
I used to be a cigar smoker.
One in. So
I used to be a cigar. I used to be a cigar roll.
What's that?
I said I used to be a cigar smoker and cigarette smoker way back in the day. I used to smoke Al Capone rums. That was my brand.
Oh man, that shit was the bomb. I remember that. I don't even know if
Yeah.
you can find that shit today.
Oh, of course you can. I mean, you can find some of the tobacco places.
Oh no shit.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was actually pretty good. Wait a minute. Lorcan says cavities versus cancer. That's really no contest there, right?
I know. We'll pick the cavities. I know, but it's just
I know, it's whatever.
There is no contest.
It's whatever works best for you. You know what I mean? We take life as it comes. But oh shit. Paul says Little Capones. He knows what we're talking about.
We talked about tattoo together on Corn Zombies, the cigarillos.
One more time.
I'm sorry. Me and Paul were actually talking about those Al Capones too on the Corn Zombies.
Oh, gotcha. So he knows exactly what you're talking about. Shit, I just remember like trying those. Oh, hell, probably 10, 15 years ago, just to try it. Because obviously a big fan of Al Capone. Always have been, always will be. I have a cartoon version of him tattooed on my left arm. You remember from like the old Bugs Bunny Warner Brothers cartoons?
Yeah. All right. The way I got my hands on the Al Capones was my 24th birthday, and I was married at the time. My mom was over. She gives me, here, Joe. Yeah, she got me these cigarillos, and there's my mom. Just like me smoking. Yeah, it's like, okay, great idea. Thanks a lot. Right in front of her, and you can tell she's got this look on her face, but she's not saying anything.
Right.
So heard about later on because she didn't want me smoking because I wasn't allowed. 20. Like what are those for? Like, oh no, they're not cigarettes. They're just for aromatherapy. She goes, oh, got me worried there for a second.
And she bought that.
No, of course not.
Okay. I was gonna say, shit, if that worked, that was fucking genius. So
she's not stupid. Some of them. She knows what's going on.
Oh yeah, they always know. But so how did
you cut out again?
What's that?
You cut out again. I can't hear you again.
Oh man, are you using earbuds?
You want to do another commercial? I'll come back and that's how I got in. You want to do that?
All right, we'll do it again.
It's okay, man. Everything's happened. Okay, I'll go out and I'll come back and just do the commercial.
Check out the great shirts of Poison Valley Clothing. Check that shit out. Allahu Akbar.
This goes out to all the groovy people at the Nest Corn Festival who are just chilling out and enjoying some of the best corn in the Midwest. DJ Smoke and Dan will be heading your way right after the show.
You kids didn't go to the festival, so you missed out on Bob's special ingredient that he added to the corn this year.
What are you staring at, you freak? Why do you even come to these parties if you're gonna act like a bitch?
Who else is to blame, Mom? I've seen the way you treat Dad. If I was him, I'd be gone just as much.
Don't you talk to me that way.
Bob was hoping that new fertilizer would help us get the corn on the market faster. We went over to see if we could help him, and he lunged at me. He started biting me.
So it seems like people are coming back from the dead, murdering others, and also going missing, apparently. So that's cool.
Yeah, do the dead people look like that?
It's the festival. Almost everyone in town went, and they're all infected, and the ones who didn't go are about to be.
You almost got us killed back there.
That's right. Attack of the Corn Zombies coming soon. Hopefully. In the fall. We don't know an exact date yet, so keep peeled to Reapers Underground, Aquastar Films for when that's going to get released. Can you hear me, brother?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry, man. It must be a connection.
That's okay. Not a problem. Everyone's been hanging with us, and I've just been showing them some groovy shit. Thank you all so motherfucking much for hanging with us tonight. This has been a blast. So we're going to continue. Okay.
Oh, yes.
So Becca Jean says, oh, this is great. Yay, Attack of the Corn Zombies. Abso-fucking-lutely. And if you looked and saw the big bald son of a bitch coming after the final survivor, that was me. And my cat, of course, says hello.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. She can't stand it when I do interviews, but she always has to be on camera, I swear. One day she will be Garfield. Anyway, or a satanic version of Garfield. See, she's right there.
I see her.
No, for sure. Paul says, LOL aromatherapy. That was like probably the best, the absolute best thing you could have come up with to say to her. And we always know that Mom always knows. She doesn't let us know that until a wooden spoon comes at your head.
Well, actually, she had a green paddle as a kid.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so, yeah. Yeah. And you want to know why kids turn out the way they do.
Exactly. We rolled with the punches. That was just the way it went. So let's get into that transition from modeling into film. Did you always see yourself kind of going into horror?
No, I didn't really know where I really saw myself to begin with at all, really.
So what was your actual first film?
Other than maybe background or just actual speaking, you mean?
Just how it all started for you.
I think the first one I did was some from DePaul University. I was just in the background. It was called, I think it was called Binks. And I was dressed like John Travolta from Saturday Night Fever without the vest on. And these kids, now I'm going to tell you what, these kids busted their ass. There was no goofing around, sipping their coffee, having a smoke break. After the smoke break, they got on the ball right away, these kids. Nice. And every time I was there, they thought, oh, you wanted the actors? I said, no, I'm just wanted the background. Honest to God, I swear to God, because of the way I was dressed. So they always picked me all the damn time. I said, make sure you have a drink in his hand every time. And it was Kool-Aid, and I got spilled on me all over my white suit. And going, oh God! Thank God, dry cleans the tax right off. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, and then I think I don't remember. I know one of the other acting gigs I did. I did it was a documentary on Amazon Prime. I think I did that before Binks, when it was, or maybe afterwards, whatever. And I think it was called Cyber Crimes. I think that's what it is, unless they changed the name. It's like, apparently I didn't know in documentaries they hire actors, not real people. I didn't know that.
Yeah, those reenactments, they always have to find somebody close to each person in each situation.
Yeah, I didn't know that. It was very unusual.
I don't think any of us did, really.
No, it was all out in Manuka, I want to say, and I didn't know anything about. So here's how I did stuff. I would drive out to the location, so it was 2.5 hours one way. So I would drive there, find the spot, and felt like, okay, there's a hotel here, and I would drive back home, book the hotel, get there again, And that's how I used to do stuff. You know, I was doing things double the work for no reason, to busting gas because I want to make sure I knew where I was going, get there on
For
time.
sure.
You know, and I was that committed. Even if I was just, doesn't matter what I was doing. I got a job. I don't want to be late, and I'm usually at least an hour early, if not more, because I'm a huge pet peeve with me was when anybody's late. I get it when it happens once in a blue moon. It can
I
happen.
feel that.
There is a blue moon today. Obviously, interesting how I said that. And just let us know, like, hey, I might be 10 minutes late. I'll let you know in a half an hour prior. That's fine. It can happen. I was late for a shoot one time. I felt really embarrassed because the first time I worked with him, and what a bad impression I made. He understood, but I still felt bad about it. I think the first speaking role I did was for New Ties, Killing in the Arts, and I played a character named Joey of all things. And yeah, we did that the week after Mother's Day, and a week before that was my very first time getting killed. And I thought, am I really going to get killed here? I wasn't too sure because I've never done it before. So, and that was nice. And I watched The Public Enemy with James Cagney the night prior to getting the feel for it. And I know on the radio the other day, we were talking about how I'm winking in my movies, and the guy goes, "Joe, we caught you winking 8 times. Stop doing that." And like I was just being a character from the Cagney film, I thought.
I mean, I think it's awesome that, you actually went to a film like that to get inspiration from. Most people's go-to are not the old school, movies. And I'm a huge fan of that era as a whole, especially horror. Boris Karloff is my dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
because to me those are the actors. It's like the golden age of acting, because that's why I wanted to be like the 40s and the 50s, and back then that's how people knew how to dress. That's why another reason why I like wearing the suits. People wear however they wanna. But I see people with like their shirts untucked, they got gym shoes on. It's like, at least tuck your damn shirt in. I don't care that you didn't brush your teeth, but tuck your goddamn shirt in. I mean, I do care you didn't brush your teeth, but still. I mean, you don't have to wear a tie. You don't got to wear a bow tie. You can wear it without a tie if you want to. I always wear the collar over the jacket because it's the style I like. But if I'm gonna wear a suit, you wear it. You look nice in it.
You really should. I mean, if you're gonna pull it off, it better be prim and proper.
Yeah, having the belt askew, the zippers down.
It elicits respect, which is something that I think a lot of folks just don't realize today. People are lazy. They just are.
Yeah, remember you used to go, like, I remember being in the 90s. I go to like a nice fancy restaurant. People at least try to dress nice. I mean, if you didn't, you would still make the effort. Now everybody's kind of like, yeah, you go over there, it's a nice sit-down restaurant, but they got the cloth napkins, and that's how you know we're at a real fancy place with the cloth napkins.
Oh yeah,
people are there in like dresses, some nice clothes, a suit jacket. Nowadays, it's kind of like, yeah, man, I just came back from the Iron Maiden concert, which is nothing wrong with that either. But
no, not at all.
But at least look nice. You're having come on, surf and turf. I mean, this is supposed to be a date night.
It reminds me of that scene in The Sopranos. I'm a big Sopranos fan, always will be. Okay. Where the guy is at a very kind of like upscale kind of like restaurant, and the dude's got a baseball cap on, and Tony Soprano goes over to him and he's like, "Excuse me, will you take your hat off, please?" And this guy's just, my hat. I'll wear it if I want to.
Yeah.
And you can just tell that Tony Soprano, I mean, he pulled it off. The actor, it's escaping me right now, but he's one of my favorite all-time character actors. And
I know you're talking about, and I'm having drawn a blank here.
But man, the way he sold that shit, he's like, take it off.
Yeah.
And he's just, I mean, you could just hear him breathing heavy, and he's like ready to fucking go to town on this guy. And finally, he takes it off. So I feel that, there's not a lot of class left in the restaurant industry, really.
Or
but that's okay.
or even in movie theaters. People have got their hats on, they're sitting right. You're like, take the fucking hat off. Somebody can't see you. Or you sit right in front of the kid. You're like, there's all these seats. You're gonna sit right in front of the kid. Get the hell out of here, you douchebag. You know damn well what you're doing. I remember that. Going to see Star Wars when they re-released it in the 90s. Right in front of me. Like, really? Like, does that make you feel like a big man? I'm 7.
You know?
What are you accomplishing?
Absolutely fucking nothing.
Trying to impress your girlfriend or your guys that just got to fixing the Trans Am? Whatever they were doing.
I swear it felt just like that every single time. So you've done some other projects as well. Let's take a look here. So you were part of one of the stories in Phil Herman's Doomsday story series, A Broken Promise. So
that was a fun
tell us
day.
a little bit about this one.
That one's like a post-apocalyptic kind of thing. Yeah, that was really fun to do, and I got to wear my biker vest in the film that I wore. And the way I got wanted to be in character. I watched Christine, so I wanted to be in the character of like William Ostrander, who I had the pleasure of meeting at the flashback weekend. I didn't tell him this.
Oh, nice!
But I also used part of his look, how I wanted to try and look for Attack of the Corn zombies as well. I tried to do the mutton chops, I couldn't pull it off very well, but but yeah, so it was kind of fun being in something. Whereas, like, I love those post-apocalyptic movies. Plus, they're even cheaper to make, like the Road Warrior and whatnot, eh? And I thought this is really fun to do. Yeah, it went by kind of fast. I felt, because I was having a really good time with it, but it was really, really fun, and there's quite a lot of laughs, like there always are in these type of film sets. Yeah.
Absolutely. Anything that, Joel Wynkoop or Wynkoop, I always get his last name incorrect. Him and Phil Herman, all that shit it's so wonderful. A lot of comedy, but at the same token, I mean, they pull that shit off. So that must have been really cool to be a part of. As well as this one here. Welcome to the Game. Tell us a little bit about this one.
Oh, that was fun. That was actually my the biggest challenge I had at that time, and it was my first time having a co-star role too. That was based off a video game. At the time, I never heard of it, but I
did you play it?
I didn't have it on PC. I didn't play games on PC.
Gotcha.
I actually watched some of the clips on YouTube. I was like, well, this actually looks pretty cool. So I got the part of the villain. And I had like 7 pages of dialogue, but each line was about a half page or a page long in itself. And it's very detailed dialogue. And a lot of it was from the game itself. Some of it was kind of tweaked a bit, just as that way, keep it a little different, but they try to keep it word verbatim. And, Johnny Mueller or Muller, again, I don't know how to pronounce certain last names, reached out to me. And he said, we saw your YouTube channel, some of your videos. We watch it. Don't worry about the auditioning. You're hired if you want it. Like, oh, good. It's the first time I ever had that happen. So, like, great.
Yeah,
and yeah, and so they had me dress up like the character in the game. And as soon as I put the suit on, I kept hearing the Pulp Fiction references because, oh, you look like John Travolta in Pulp Fiction. I'm going, yeah. They're like, do the Royale with cheese line. I'm going, well, I didn't say that. Samuel L. Jackson said, like, do it anyway. Like, fine. You're my boss. I gotta do it now. But no, it was fun day. And it was so hot. I'm only in one scene. And it was so hot in that room. We were all just drenched in sweat. It was so hot we couldn't think. Noah, the guy Noah Fetta, he's in the back. He looks like Darth Vader as a magician who didn't work out so well. It was just the outfit. That's how I could describe it. That's how we all talked about in the set. At least I did anyway. And I had a few. I made that part up. But no, that was a fun day. We all had a lot of laughs. And I never had so much extensive dialogue to remember like that. And I couldn't get all of it done because I was doing temporary work at the mall at the what mall is it called? The Rosemont Mall. I was working at this place called Brioni for a little while just for money because I need the work. And so I had to have I had to have Luke to hold the paper in front of his face. I just constantly glanced at the pages I didn't get to look at, and I just made it up from when I went along. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the mark of a true actor, you know. It's like,
yeah,
when it comes to crunch time, you know, you get it done, and obviously it's serving you very well.
Well,
So,
thank you.
tell us a little bit about your character in the upcoming Attack of the Corn Zombies.
My character, his name is Roger, and he's a greaser. And Steve said there's going to be like hippies and greasers, and right away I said, "Oh, can I be a greaser?" You know, like, you know, the hell with the hippies. I want to be a greaser. You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a hippie. It's just like if I got to pick, I want to be the greaser. So
that's a good role to have.
And I did a scene. Well, I'm not going to say anymore because I don't want to give anything away.
Well, for sure.
Well, you know, me and my scene partner, we're quite excited. We finally got to work together on a project and do a scene together. So that's all we're going to say, because I don't want to give anything away. Because, you know, it's just like the mob. You got to know when to shut up.
Exactly.
And I can't. And I got a big mouth, and so I would never make it in the mob. No, they would call me Big Mouth Billy Bass Joe, whatever. He's talking about who he just whacked. They're like, "Oh yeah, okay, Joe. All right, you got to know when to be quiet." But no, I know when to not say certain stuff, and I just gotta wait until it's done and released.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
And we are definitely all looking forward to that. And you guys know that you can definitely find out when that's coming out on Reapers Underground Facebook page, as well as any of Black Flame Entertainment page as well. All of our stuff. So follow us everywhere. Oh, this is great. Paul says, pants so tight you can see sausage. Oh, and he also tell us, thank you, James Gandolfini. That was the name.
Yeah, I knew
we
it started
were
with
trying to remember.
Yeah, I remember when he died. Yeah.
Austin says, definitely greaser over hippie any day. Brilliant choice.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And you know, from actor to actor, I think we definitely try to choose stuff that fits us the best. And you know, surprisingly, most people don't know this, but I'm a huge mob film fan. So that's definitely something I would love to do at some point.
Oh God,
I think we all would want to, you know, it's fun.
Oh yeah. I always wanted to do noir, like how they would have it set place in the 40s or 30s, kind of like I always wanted to do that. Of course,
fantastic.
This is got to get chopped off, unfortunately, you know. But you know, I would love to do that. I always wanted something because, like, oh yeah, it's something that to me has got schmaltz to it, eh? You know, like during the time when the actors were the actors and how they talked back then. You know, use the word dough instead of money. I thought I was like that. I would get off on that.
Oh man, you could do that really well. I can see it.
What's that?
I feel it. I said I can see it. I can feel it.
Well, guess what happened?
Ah, son of a bitch.
Yeah, we caught again.
All right.
Let me exit out.
No.
We'll run a commercial. I'll be right back, okay? Okay,
sure.
yeah.
We're going to run a quick commercial. Not sure what the issue is, but we will get around that. So we're going to check this out really quick. One more time for Attack of the Corn Zombies, as that is a new film coming soon.
This goes out to all the groovy people at the Nest Corn Festival who are just chilling out and enjoying some of the best corn in the Midwest. DJ Smoke and Dan will be heading your way right after the show.
You kids didn't go to the festival, so you missed out on Bob's special ingredient that he added to the corn this year.
What are you staring at, you freak? Why do you even come to these parties if you're gonna act like a bitch?
Who else is to blame?
And there we have it. So Joe is back with us. There's Joe. Can you hear me, sir?
Oh yeah. I think every 21 minutes it does that. I've noticed. I've been keeping track.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Austin says, same as Italian. I love these types of movies. I find them very educational on my heritage, honestly. And let's face it, the golden age of the mob is anywhere from the 50s to the 80s. John Gotti has always been one of my probably biggest idols of that era, and his crime spree, spans decades, until he was finally put down. But it was an age of respect, and people love those movies, and that's why.
Oh yeah,
and it's a piece of history at the same time. So.
Oh yeah, plus you see how it was done back then. They wore the pants all up to the high waisters with the suspenders.
Right.
Yeah. I wore that to the premiere of the Desperate Souls down in Leroy. They had the suspenders that hooks into the pants. Like I always like that. It's so much more comfortable. Oh yeah, Jesus, I don't care. It might give me a back problem, but oh yeah, snap. Just go like this, and your pants are off.
So, what are some of your favorite horror films of all time?
Oh Jesus, there's so many. Well, I always loved Tremors, obviously, and
Yes.
I loved John Carpenter's version of The Thing. Not very often do I prefer the remake over the original, but I actually prefer that one.
Oh man, Kurt Russell fucking nailed that shit.
Oh yeah. Let's see, American Werewolf in London. That's a good one. That's a cute one.
Classic. Tom Savini is a master.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. I was always more of a Friday the 13th kind of guy.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's owl out here. Anyway, you've got to pick the. If you got to pick the which John franchise, mine was always Friday the 13th.
It's brilliant.
Let's see here. Oh God, I always liked the Reanimator. You ever seen that one?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's quite comical in its way. And I know Westworld is not a horror film, but it's kind of like a sci-fi horror thing. When I used to drive my mother crazy with that, popping the VHS at 9 years old, and I remember being a kid in 3rd grade. She's like, "Give the movie a chance; you might like it." Well, I'm sure she's sorry because every Friday I put that sucker in there. Sometimes twice a week. I mean, I knew the script from back to front. I thought the idea of a theme park like that was so badass. And I remember my mother said to me one time I was watching it. She goes, "You would just kill everybody and fuck all the horrors, wouldn't you?" I'm going, "Yeah, but I was 10, but I don't know, And this is how we. And by the way, this is how we talk in the suburban household. I don't know what it's like. I don't know how people talk out in the country or in the city, but this is how we talk in my hometown of Wakanda.
Wasn't much different in my house, let me tell you.
And I am Facebook friends with the actress from that movie, Linda Gay Scott. I thought that wow, what an honor to be, Facebook friends with somebody from that movie. A movie I always loved so much, even as a child. I felt so honored about it. And she got all those posts up every once in a while. It's really neat to see that.
Hell yeah. So you're also quite a bit of a metal fan, especially 80s metal. I seem to remember you getting a photo with Lita Ford. How the fuck was that moment?
Well,
that woman was every male child's fucking fantasy from the 80s. And let me tell you, if you think I'm bullshitting, I'm not. So what was that like?
Oh, I was like as soon as I got done, my legs kind of went limp almost, because it was wow. After waiting 20 years, I finally get to meet her in person. And here's the thing: even if she doesn't, even if she looked as how she does now, I would still go because I really enjoy her music. I don't get those people who go, "Oh, I'm gonna." I knew a couple guys who went to the Lady Gaga concert. They're like, "Oh, she's hot," and going, "Yeah, she is, but do you like her music?" "No, we're just going because she's hot." Like, "Oh, what's the matter with you? Just find a poster, put it on your wall, be done with it." That's great. But yeah, she looks great. But I'm going mostly for the music. And like I said, I was grinning from ear to ear when I met her. Finally, it was just like,
well, sure,
wow. So I met Blackie from Wasp, and I met Lita, the two people in the music industry who I really wanted to meet the most out of everybody. And I did it in 1 year, and it's like, wow, I'm just so tickled by it. Appropriately tickled. Gotta throw that in there. Yeah, like I said, now I'm riffing.
No, I mean, that's fantastic, and it's unfortunate that it's taken most of us this long to meet some of these icons. I can remember when I opened up for My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult and hanging out with Groovy Man for the first time. That shit was amazing because, I've been a professional musician my whole career until I started doing this stuff. So it's like, I'm now opening up for some of these heroes and here and there. And it's just like, what? I can remember when I met the guys from Lamb of God and we all did a shot of Jägermeister together. It's like, am I really doing this?
Yes, you are. I remember I met Dave Mustaine.
Oh, wow. Was he sober?
Yeah, he was pretty good. I mean, it was hot out, and he was signing autographs. He didn't have time to talk, granted, but my mom decided to talk to him because she's never been to a metal concert before. And he's like, my son is introducing me to your music, and he shook her hand like, oh, great, I hope you like it. And we had a fight before we went to the concert, like a 3-day concert, open air concert over in Bridgeview at the Toyota Park, which is called something else now. And she's like, I want to go in the mosh pit. Like, you are not going in that fucking mosh pit. You're 5 foot, whatever the hell you are, and you're 5 foot, whatever you are, and you're not going in there. And she almost got pulled into it when she goes, yeah, you're right. I'm glad I didn't go into that. Like, see? So, I mean, I met Dave, and I think the first band I ever met, I met the drummer from Prophets of Addiction when all these other bands came to my town, and I got their autograph. I got their picture, and they were really nice. And I met Vixen, and there's a story behind that. I was there, and I was last in line to see them. And this guy ahead of me, we'll call him John because that's his name. And he says to the one lady, I don't remember. I'm not very good with everybody's names. But he says to the one lead singer, she goes, who am I making this out to? And he goes, Big John. And you can see the look on her face is kind of like, and I'm looking at him and going, really, douchebag? and I'm thinking, she's like, can I just put on John? She goes, no, make it Big John. He's got a big smile, and she's got this like, oh God,
which means he has a tiny dick.
Yeah, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm just shaking my head a little bit. I'm thinking like, they're not gonna fuck you, and then she's definitely not gonna do it now. And so when it got to be my turn, I just looked at him again one last time just to get the full picture, and I just said to her, I said, I'm just going to keep it simple. I'll just say Joe. And she says, thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're not looking for, a hot piece of tail.
No. It's called respect. I mean, you might want to. That's okay. Whatever. You keep that shit to yourself. Don't be a jackass.
But there's always that John.
Yeah, like
goodness.
I mean, it'd be really funny if he's watching this now, and I'm the guy standing there who was standing right next to him, talking about him, making a fool of himself in front of the band Vixen. Like, really?
He's, probably going into his bedroom right now and crying like a little bitch. Because come on, there's nothing wrong with, meeting one of your heroes or whatever, or just or someone's music that you enjoyed.
Yeah, or like boyfriend or girlfriend, like my next door neighbor, my mom, or my friend Mary. They both have the hots for Gary Sinise. They know it's not going to happen. I mean, who cares? It's cool, whatever. But I know they're not going to make a total jackasses of themselves in front of it.
No, they're not going to be like at a Tom Jones concert throwing their panties and bras at them.
Of course not. I mean, I was so excited to see Lita. I'm not going to be like, but it was respectable. I actually forgot to say thank you because after I got my photo, because it was like quick in and out because I was really just so damn nervous that I finally got to meet her. I was like, oh shit, I forgot.
I mean, who would have thought that you could at that point? It's cool that they're doing that now, because I don't think, back in the heyday of metal in the 80s, that you even would have that opportunity.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you could pick the option of either getting an autograph or a photo with them, I would take the photo with them, because to me it means a lot more to me. I could print it out; it's like a memory, and that means even if I have both, I'll take both. But I want to do the picture with them. I want to actually meet them and say, "Wow, I love your stuff, and this is why I'm here to see you." I mean, I don't care if
it should be.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if it's just one damn song. I mean, yeah, do more than I wanted my money's worth, of course, but I'm just happy to see you perform. You're still doing it with all these bands and everything. Don from Don Dokken, I know he's had some health issues in the past. Is just like, and I hate when people bitch about things like they didn't do that one song. Did you get to see them live? You did. Shut up, then.
Exactly.
You got to see them. These were made like 40 years ago. They're doing their damn best. They don't have to perform at all. Nobody has to do anything for you. They're doing it because they want to. They also, like everybody, we need the money. We got to work for it. And I know there's a lot of fans that appreciate it. Yeah, I saw Kiss, the original lineup of Kiss. They didn't do a song I wanted to hear. I don't care. I got to see him, and I'm happy.
And that's the way it should be. I mean, just the fact that, wow, I was able to catch this artist at this time. So what if, maybe they got some new songs that they want to, put out there. They have a new record out, and they can't do all of the old classics. You should not fucking get upset about that shit.
Oh, there's only so much time you have. Like, if they only have a list of 12 songs they can do, that's all they got to do. I mean, I wanted to hear I Was Made for Loving You. It didn't happen. Whatever. Who cares? It was still a kick-ass concert. I loved it. I wouldn't trade it.
It's all about the experience,
Like when I saw What, my favorite band in the whole world. Somebody said, I don't care if he does Mary Had a Little Lamb. I don't care either. I'm sure he would blow it out of the water. I'd be happy. Yeah, do it again, Blackie. Put down the next album. Mary Had a Little Lamb. I would love this.
So you've also, as far as your, modeling goes, you've been having or going to a college, I think, or art class where you are the subject for people to draw you. We've been seeing that a lot. And quite honestly, I think that's probably very rewarding. What do you think?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I do it to a lot of different locations. I've been doing that. Most of it is not with my clothes on, but some of it doesn't.
We don't have those photos out there in Black Flame Land, so stop it.
Well, you don't scare me. You don't scare me. That could be anyone's ass. Anyway. Yeah,
but some of these are just very well done.
Yeah.
I can remember talking with somebody in my shop about this, where I wish I could just sit there and be able to look at something and draw it. But these artists are very, very good. So tell us a little bit about your experience there.
Well, who person who got me involved with was another model who did it was named Mia Kelly. It was during the pandemic. And I saw this thing for Love Your Body, Learn to Become an Art Model. I'm going, well, okay, let's try something different. And she had these Zoom classes, like she would instruct people how to do things and whatnot, and told about what to expect if you're going to do this.
Sure.
There's a car going by, and and I thought, yeah, okay. Just something different. I really love the artwork, and I personally think the people who are the artists are the ones with the real talent. Personally, I'm just standing there looking nice, holding still. I don't do that. I just hold it.
I know. I'm just fucking with you.
I know. But no, I really like those a whole lot, and it really was a nice new life experience to try, and that's something I never thought I'd ever be doing. My first one wasn't so great. I won't say where it was and I preparing myself to bear it all in front of a bunch of people. Nobody showed up, and top it off, my boss, the place I was at. Oh, our policy, we only had to pay you half price because nobody showed up. Going, Well, that's like adding salt to the wound. You're gonna pay me half what was expected, really?
That's
And
man.
it really was. It really
that's
was the first.
disrespectful.
It really was the first time in my career that I actually felt like shit, and I really was holding back quite a lot of tears, believe it or not. And because I was excited to do this for my first time.
Sure.
I was gonna do something I'd never done before in a very vulnerable type of position, and which I'm pretty laid back with doing that anyway. But when I live in like a semi-European lifestyle, so I don't really give a shit. But but it was kind of like I was looking forward to it, and it's kind of like a child it was just crushed.
Sure.
Sorry, kid. We're not gonna go see Santa Claus this year. I'm sorry, kind of thing, or whatever my faith has.
It takes a lot of guts.
Yeah, but I really felt like crap. Feel like less than shit that day. And I told somebody about that, and they made it up to me, and they hire me every now and then. And it's really nice. And those are the people who made the sketches over that location, which we keep it private.
Well,
But
for
it
sure.
was, but no, but everything that was like the only worst case I've ever had. Everything else was nice, generally nice.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I think it's a great way, a different way, to kind of immortalize yourself. It's like a film, you're there forever.
Oh yeah.
So I just think that's an amazing thing that you do. And where can everyone find you? Like, what are all your links?
I have a Twitter account. I'm not on there a whole lot, so don't expect a whole lot of comments. I still don't understand what the hell it's for.
People to bullshit and rant because no one can see you.
Yeah. It's Joe_Rosing, I think. I don't go on there. But I'm on Facebook, and which is just Joe Rosing. That's all it is. No underscore or anything, just all with a space in between. If I don't friend you right away, don't panic. I get a pile of them a day, but you can still follow me. Not a problem. I'm also on Instagram, which is Joe_Rosing. I keep it all the same thing. Just make it easy on people. None of this. Just keep it simple. I don't know who you are. Yeah, I have LinkedIn. I don't really go on there a whole lot. I have other things I don't remember anymore.
No MySpace.
No, I never had MySpace.
I'm just fucking with you.
I have this too. You can get a hold of me for this thing if I gotta.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's just been amazing hanging out with you, just learning about all the different things that you do. And I wish, more actors were like this, because I kind of like can bond with you on the whole, like modeling thing, along with acting, because I mean, if it wasn't for my wife, I would have never even got into it in the first place. I'm like, who the fuck wants to look at me?
Hey, we're looking at you all the entire time, and I'm not bothered by it. We get a lot in common.
Well, it's different because obviously I'm more of a on the plus size, grizzly bear kind of thing. I'm not a.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. Your wife obviously likes looking at you because you guys are together, and that means a lot.
For sure.
Looking like that. And the only person you got to worry about looking like is the person that you're with. Who cares what anybody else thinks? That's how I see it.
And that's exactly what I did. Just throwing caution to the wind and giving it a shot and see what people think. And then I've been on, covers of magazines. So, who would have thought?
Yeah, exactly. So people do want to look at you. And like I said, she obviously loves you enough. She still likes how you look and whatever. That's what matters. She does see a whole lot more than what most people can see of an everyday type of person.
Absolutely.
So that's how, yeah.
So, this has been, very cathartic, as well as, for those out there in Black Flame Land that are thinking about, either getting into acting or maybe even modeling of some kind, just give it a shot. So with a lot of the new fans you've made tonight, as well as fans of yours that have joined for this broadcast, what would your lasting thoughts be for everybody out there?
Don't let somebody tell you what to do. As in, like, if they say you're not the right fit for something, just keep giving it a try. The only person who can decide if you can do something or not is you, because you can try it out and you say, like, no, that's not my thing. It's not. No problem. You know, like there's some things I thought I could do too. Wasn't really something I thought I could do at all. You still gave it a try. Nobody can ever take that away from you. Don't let somebody make you quit, because you will regret it. You have to decide what it is that you really want to do or not. And if you want to give something a try, yeah, by all means, give it a try, and best of luck, no matter what it is. And you got to, and if it's this particular business, you definitely can't give up.
Nope.
And you definitely have to learn how to grow some thick skin like I did, and not take any crap from anybody.
Yeah, it's definitely a dog eat dog kind of world. In the world of indie film, as well as, you know, modeling, you know, whatever you're trying to get into, music business, it's all fucking the same. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
real talk from a real fucking human being.
And
Thank
one more
you
thing.
so much, Joe, for joining us tonight, man. Just always a pleasure having you on the show. I was excited
Thanks, man.
to get you on, as well as our viewers out there. And, you know, thank everybody out there for in Black Flame Land for joining on this broadcast tonight. Thanks for hanging with us as always.
Oh, well,
And,
thank you very much.
Absolutely. And, you know, and you learn something, as well as all the laughs, and, you know, something that you can connect with. So if you think it's impossible, it's not.
Oh yeah. I mean, I like being it. It's actually just like, you know, we get along quite well. So it's always, as time goes by like this when I'm on this show, it's so fun. We can talk about, you know, like movies and music and crap for all day long, really, on this show. It's fun.
Most def. And I definitely hope I get to you know, act alongside you sometime in the future, man.
That'd be pretty
it'll
fun.
definitely be a blast.
Maybe another zombie film, hopefully.
Oh shit. You know, I'm down. That's one of my favorite genres.
Maybe
Or a
we'll switch
monster
sides.
of some sort.
Maybe
You
we'll
know.
switch sides. You're killing zombies and I'm one of the zombies.
For sure. That'd be awesome. Thank you all so much again for joining us tonight on this edition of Reapers Underground. And we love y'all. So, you know, if you missed it, catch the replay tomorrow. It's on there forever on Reapers Underground Facebook page, YouTube channel, Black Flame Entertainment Facebook page, as well as the YouTube channel. So as you're about to lay it down for 2 more days in the work week, and you got a lot to look forward to, because the goddamn program is on Friday night at 8 p.m. and we got a whole bunch of funny fucking shit for you guys to check out. So as you know, you're laying it down, you got visions of Joe dancing in your head, shirtless, and bearing all for you to see. Just remember, at the end of the day, stay heavy.